Hi and welcome to my playhouse. And today we are in the data center, and it's rather quiet in here because I've turned some stuff off. I had been playing around with the CHIA mining, and well, that ship has sailed. The CHIA is not really worth anything, and it was good fun while it lasted. I do believe that I said that I could not recommend doing this, but well, it was great fun. So, but never mind, now that I don't have anything to use a lot of storage for, we're gonna make a server with a lot of storage anyway, just because we can. That was what CHIA was really good for. It needed a lot of storage to do something, and yeah, sometimes you need a lot of storage, but most of the time you don't. And when I say a lot of storage, I mean a lot of storage. Let's say 100 plus terabytes, right? So what are we gonna do today? Well, my plan was to play around with this Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Oh, I forget what it is. It's the CL3100, but it has a letter somewhere. I guess it's the CL3100, which is a 1U storage server. So it's blotchy ugly on the outside, but it's really cool on the inside. This was sponsored by Bargain Hardware, by the way, and I am not sure if they have any more of these. They were sold out at a point, and then they came back, but let me just go and check. Okay, I just checked on Bargain Hardware's, well, that's bargainhardware.co.uk on their webpage, and they do actually have, I think, 6 of these left. This is the longest server ever. See how long that is. That's so long. A bit frightening to have it hanging all the way out there, but yeah, it's because it's even if it's an HP, it's pretty cool inside. I kind of like this, I must admit. This was also why I agreed when Bargain Hardware asked me if I wanted to have a look at this. Of course they wanted to sell this server. They had an abundance of these servers at that time, 100 plus, and so they wanted to do a bit of advertising for this server, and yeah, I think we all understand how that works. But how do I... Oh, there we are. So let's get the cover off. And we have some drives in here. I really forgot how many drives are left in here. This is a pretty awesome server, if I must say so. The main feature is the ability to stuff 12 3.5-inch hard drives in here. That means that you have 12 bays inside of the server where you can put in your big hard drives, and I'm sure it can take 20 gigabyte drives. I don't have any of those. I have some 12s and some 10s, so we're gonna fill it up with as much capacity as I can muster. And yeah, I still need to do a little bit of testing on these drives. I'm not entirely sure the 5 drives that are in here, which one is good and which ones are bad, but I have some good drives that I'm gonna be well, I've tested them good on the Lenovo server in the second living room, so I'm hoping they're good, and stuff those in. It also is packed with 2 pretty good CPUs over here. It has room for a decent amount of RAM. It has a 10 gigabit Ethernet output, and it has a very nice HPA that will handle these 12 drives. There's a lot of SATA connections on the motherboards, so without this extremely expensive RAID controller, it can actually handle 9 drives, I believe, but with the RAID controller it can handle all of them. So yeah, I gotta figure out what drives to put in here. Oh yeah, and here is the Bargain Hardware sticker that they have put on this server. They have given it a Bargain Hardware serial number, so I'm sure they have it in their database somewhere. If you purchase anything at Marken Hardware, you can use the checkout code MyPlayHouse, small letters, and that will give you 5% off of your purchase. It's an affiliate, so be mindful that I will as well be laughing all the way to the bank. I am pretty sure we have a rather big recession coming here, so if nothing else, it's always good to know where you can get some cheaper used equipment so that your money will last longer. I've been made aware by some patrons that it seems that you can only use my PlayHouse code once, and I think might be every year. So if you want to get your 5% off, you probably have to do it in one go. But if you bought something last year, I do believe that it will work again this year, and it will probably work again next year. And if you really have to cheat, well, you can just make a new account and then it will work again. But yeah, that's something to be mindful for there. And now that we are talking about weird bugs, I have a bug problem here on the back of the data center. Let's see if we can sneak in here. Ant has moved in. That's irritating. So I put up an ant trap for them. So hopefully that will kill off all the ants, and then I will vacuum out all of the sand that they have put in here. And I should probably try and fill up that hole that they have made in the corner there. They are totally undermining my data center here. It's not good. Crap. So I have 3 12 terabyte hard drives, and I have 3 spots right here. So I think we'll pop in the 12 terabytes in the front here. This is drive number 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll it's a very, I have showed this in multiple videos, but these are the drive cages. So you put the drives in there and you slide those in. It's a kind of, it's a little basket for your hard drive. Move over here and mount some drives. That is 12 terabytes, 10 and 10. So I had plenty, that's good. I wasn't sure that I had enough. So we're ready with the first little baskets of storage. So I kind of like this layout of the drives. These are, well, they're actually Hewlett-Packard drives. I'm sure the server doesn't care. It likes SAS drives, but it can both take SAS and SATA. So I don't like this layout as much. That's additional 36 terabytes of storage space just installed with 3 drives. That's large. I should get some of the big drives. That will do well on video. So right here we have a special case. There's not enough room for the drives here because we have 2 drives here, so they can't really slide back enough. So they made another, well, I'm sure some engineer has worked overtime. There's a little blue switch here that I have to release, and then this comes up, and there's like a tray cage so that it comes up to the next level, and then these drive cages can come out. Awesome, right? And that is of course necessary so that you can hot swap these drives. And there. And the same one with the next one. And the back plane is back here, which is more or less just a contact. And then there. And the blue lever switch has to come out again to lock it in place. Good to go. I just need the last 2 there. And they are ready to go in. 10 terabytes. So let's see, 12 times 10, that's 120 terabytes. And then there are 3 drives that are 12 terabytes, so 126 terabytes. That's a decent amount, right? I'm gonna put the lid back on for the airflow. Some of the original drives in here wasn't too good, which was why I had a shit ton of issues with it when I was doing CHIA farming, and or I was using this as for a backup for my CHIAs, and yeah, that wasn't great. So yeah, we need to figure out which of those drives are some dodgy ones. So we're just gonna, it's so long. There. Well, it's on. This is one of the more noisy Hewlett Packard servers for sure. So I have connected it on the back. So let's see if... And it's booting. So we should get some data out of it. And adjust for the sun. Good. And we get a drive overview. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just made it. That was great. That would have sucked if I was number 8 and then ah crap. But yeah, it's all good. I have server something on this installed, so let's see what it sees. Very nice. Okay, so the server booted. Okay. I could just start by emptying the trash can. There, I just installed HD Tune, and now we deleted the installation files. So we can start by, it's an LSI controller that is in here. And for an LSI controller there's a management software, and it's called MegaRAID Storage Manager. And you can install that, and you can kind of configure the RAID controller, or in this case an HPA. So there is not a whole lot that you can do with this HPA, as it is an HPA. All it does is that it passes through the hard drives to the operating system. So, but it sees 12 drives, which is always good. So we can see the physical drives here, and we can see the logical drives here. There is nothing configured than that. They're just drives. So logical drives is when you have a RAID controller. The RAID controller will take some amount of drives and combine them into a logical drive, and then it will present the logical drive to the operating system as a disk. So we don't have that here, as it's an HPA. It's a rather good HPA. So it's the SAS 9305-16i, which means that it can handle 16 internal drives. So these 12 is a smaller task for it, but everything is good here. We have 3 12 terabyte and we have 9 10 terabytes. So yeah, everything looks good in here. If we go into we can just see them here. The drives are out here. Some of them is not configured. All the new ones that I just put in, most of those does not pop up, and that is kind of a good thing, because then I don't have to test those. But I'm gonna run into a little bit of an issue here anyway. But this 12 terabyte that we just put in, I know for a fact that is good. The reason why it pops up here is that it has been in this server before, and I have clearly not used it for anything since then. I'm sure it's full of CHIA plots. Yeah, it is. So I have copied those over to the other storage, so we don't need those anymore. But I don't need to test that 12 terabyte. That's good to go. But I want to test some of the other ones, and that's where I run into a little bit of an issue, because I installed HD Tune here, and it is able to see all the hard drives, which is really fantastic. But which is which? I haven't got the faintest idea here. Yeah, I can see that this one is a 2 terabyte SSD. I know that. This one is a Samsung 1 terabyte SSD. So actually it's not 226 terabytes, it's 229 terabytes that we have in this server. But the rest of them, well, these two Seagates, I can kind of make out which drives they must be. But other than that, I'm really handicapped. If I find one of these drives and it's defective, I haven't got a clue how to figure out which one it is. So yeah, that's an issue. I don't know if I can disable some of them. I might try that. Okay, I can see in the in the disk manager here that quite a few of the drives are actually already offline, which will probably make sure that they don't want to be tested. And this one is not even initialized, so that's probably not going to be testing either. But let's try. You should probably just pick the first one. Start. So it should do a curve like this-ish. Go from about 200 to about probably 150. If it does a lot of spikes down, it's not a great drive. And we are probably going to meet some of those. So this is what I want to see. Not anything going down. It had some issues just to start with, but that is not out of the normal. So let's pick the next one and see if we can find a bad one. There is some bad ones in here for sure, because I had some drives where I wasn't able to get my CHIA plots off because they were so slow and bad. Well, this one looks pretty good as well. It does a lot of weird stuff up here, but I guess that's okay. It doesn't do anything crazy. So next, Seagate something. That could be a 12 terabyte. Wow, look at that. Straight line, 275 megabytes per second from a spinning disk. This must be one of the good 12 terabytes. A Seagate one, it says. Well, yeah, that is doing really well. Let's check the other one just to see if it does as well. Starts out really well. 272. Yep, another awesome drive here. So let's go for the next one. There must be some bad ones in here somewhere. There we go. That's what a bad drive looks like. It should be up here, but it keeps making all the way down to 0 megabytes per second, which is awful. So yeah, I'm curious here if the program sees them in order. It might actually. We have a 10 terabyte as the first one, then there's 3 12 terabytes, so this might be drive number 5. So I think we'll go for that. So maybe I'll be able to replace the right ones in the first go. So I've made a note of that, and I'll keep testing. Yeah, that was a quick test. That didn't work at all. So apparently another bad one. So this one had a little bit, but I'm gonna call that good. It's not that bad. 177 megabytes per second from a spinning disk. It's not that bad. Next. So that was drive number 7. And number 8 is fine. Moving on to number 9. Another okay hard drive. Cool. All the last ones here are drives that I should already have tested, so probably they're all going to be fine. Oh, this is actually one of the new drives that I put in, one of the 10 terabytes. It's not doing too great. All the way down to 28.5 megabytes per second. And so yeah, I skipped some just to not waste your time too much. So we're gonna do the last one. See if that's good. Number 12 is okay. So yeah, I think we should replace these drives 5, 6, and 11, and I will have a good server with 129 terabytes of storage. Awesome. I didn't fasten it. I knew we were gonna get in here. So it says here on the metal which drive number the drive has. So let's see. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5 and 6. So these two are the ones that we had the most issues with. And then there was number 11, that one. Okay, so we need to replace those 3 drives. We might as well just get on with it. That one, oh, it's one of the drives I like. 6, 11, and I'm gonna stuff the server back into the rack because it feels ever so slightly uncomfortable to have it this far out. There, that's fine. Oh, I need something, some marker to tell that these were bad. Acquired. So I knew these were dodgy drives, so no big surprise. 3 new dodgy drives to replace the 3 proven dodgy drives. So yeah, I'm gonna put those in. Might as well just put the first 2 in. We can do that without pulling the server further out. So that's 1. That's 2. And then we have to pull it out. Sometimes it's teasing me that I have to put it all the way in before I can pull it all the way out again. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, it messes with me on that one. Let's put that in place. Oh, we need the cover on, so we need it far out, dude. This server measures 98 centimeters from the back of the power supplies and to the front of the bracket here. It's crazy long. Did I mention that this was one of the quieter servers that Hewlett Packard makes? You can barely hear it. I'm kidding, it's very noisy. So, but as it is a cloud server, you will never hear it. It's always up there in the cloud. Okay, that was number 5 drive. You can kind of see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it checks out really well. So let's go number 6, which was also replaced, and run a test on that one. And it seems that drive number 6 checks out as well. We just need drive number 11. That's that one. Let's check that one. Last one. And drive 11 is also working perfectly now. Awesome. I ran into a lot of trouble with this server when I was using it for as a backup for my tiers, all my CHIA plots for my CHIA mining, because I copied all the CHIA on there and then I wasn't able to get them back. It was just taking weeks and weeks and weeks to get them back, which is because the drives were bad. Some of them were bad, 5 and 6 were bad, really bad. Some of the other one was also bad, but I could get them off there. So I ran into that issue, and in the meantime I figured out that I could see the error on the drives. I figured that out on the IBM in previous videos when I also ran this test. I know you will suggest me some other tools that can do this, but well, I figured out that if they do that, they're not good, and if they don't do that, they are pretty okay. Yeah, that's works for me. And I have a lot of these dodgy drives because they are dodgy, and I've gotten my hands on them because they are dodgy. Some of them are not dodgy enough to be real dodgy yet. I'm rambling. I very much highly recommend that you go check out bargainhardware.co.uk, see if they have some stuff that you just happens to need, and remember the checkout code MyPlayHouse in the small letters, and yeah, you should lunch, apparently. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.